Hello, my friends. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, a place where I try to make maths make sense. We have a very interesting question. It's an equation actually, and we're asked to find the value of beta. Let's go to the board and check out the question. We have beta factorial is equal to beta cube minus beta. We are asked to find the value of beta. Without wasting much of our time, let's go straight into it. So we'll start with solution. Now, we're going to start by trying to resolve beta factorial. And beta factorial is equal to beta into bracket beta minus 1 factorial. Okay? How did we get to this? Let's try to explain a little. If you have 7 factorial, it's the same thing as 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If you have 8 factorial, it's the same thing as 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? So from these two now, we can conclude that 8 factorial is equal to 8 times 7 factorial. The reason is that if you check this, you find that after taking out the 8 here, what is remaining represents 7 factorial. So if you have the factorial of a number, you can express the number by taking the number actually, multiplying it by 1 less than the number with a factorial at the back. That is just what we got here. So the general formula is n factorial. If you have a number n factorial, you can take the number, which is n, multiply it by 1 less than the number factorial. This is a general formula we should have at the back of our mind in our bid to resolve this question. With that, let me clean this thing. This is just explaining how I got beta factorial is equal to beta times beta minus 1 factorial. So I'm going to replace this into this equation. Where we have beta factorial, I'm going to replace this. So let me rewrite this now. It will become beta into bracket beta minus 1 factorial is equal to beta cube minus beta. Okay? I can now simplify this equation further by writing beta into bracket beta minus 1 factorial is equal to beta out of it, because if you check these two terms, beta is common to it. So I can bring out beta and carry out some little factorization there. So when I bring out beta, what will be left inside the bracket will be beta squared minus 1. You check these this equation, both sides of this equation have something in common. And what they have in common is beta. So I can divide both sides of this equation by beta. This will be divided by beta. This will be divided by beta. This beta cancels this, and this one cancels this. We are now left with beta minus 1 factorial is equal to beta squared minus 1. We can express this further by writing beta minus 1 factorial is equal to beta minus 1 into brackets beta plus 1. This is just simply expressing the difference of 2 squared, because beta squared minus 1 squared, I can put square here so that to be clear to us. This is expanding a difference of 2 squared. That is how we got to this. So having gotten to this, let's go to the next stage. Let me go on. In the next stage, I would still apply what we have done before with beta factorial to this. So if I want to expand this now, I can write beta minus 1 factorial is equal to beta minus 1 into brackets beta minus 2 factorial. It's just similar to what I did here. Okay? So I can write this equation now in terms of by just replacing beta minus 1 factorial with this here. Just to write this equation, this becomes beta minus 1 into bracket beta minus 2 factorial is equal to beta minus 1 into bracket beta plus 1. So if you take the two sides of this equation, you discover that beta minus 1 is here, beta minus 1 is also here. I can eliminate the beta minus 1 by dividing both sides of the equation with beta minus 1. So let me do it. I'll divide this side of the equation by beta minus 1. Also this side by beta minus 1. This cancels this cancels this. So I'll be left with beta minus 2 factorial is equal to beta plus 1. Now, having gotten to this stage, I'm going to introduce something into the equation that is going to help us solve it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make an assumption. I will assume that let beta minus 2 be equal to alpha. Okay? Remember there is beta minus 2 inside here. I say let it be equal to alpha. Then it will mean that beta will be equal to alpha plus 2. I just got this from here. By moving the minus 2 here to the other side of the equation, beta becomes beta plus 2. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to rewrite this equation in terms of only alpha. Where I have beta minus 2, I'm going to replace with alpha. And where I have beta, I'm going to replace with alpha plus 2. So let's do it. This becomes alpha factorial is equal to, remember we have beta here, so I'm going to replace it with alpha plus 2. I'll write alpha plus 2. There is 1 left here, I'll write plus 1. So alpha factorial will become alpha plus 3. Okay? So having gotten to this point, I'm still going to simplify this equation further. But anyway, let me just clean this place. Let's see space to finish up our question. I'll simplify this equation further by writing alpha factorial is equal to alpha into bracket alpha minus 1 factorial. This is what we have been using to solve the question right from the beginning. So I can now write this equation as alpha into bracket alpha minus 1 factorial is equal to alpha plus 3. Let me collect like times. I'll move this alpha to this side of the equation. This becomes alpha into bracket alpha minus 1 factorial. When this crosses here, it becomes minus alpha is equal to 3. Now, if you look at this term, these two terms on the right-hand side of the equation, these two terms on the, I think the left-hand side of the equation, if I there is alpha here and there is alpha here, they are common, so I can carry out factorization. So what I'll do is I'll bring out alpha. I'll have alpha minus 1 factorial, then minus 1, because alpha divided by alpha is 1. This is equal to 3. Okay? Having gotten to this place, I can rewrite this equation in terms of the factors of 3. There are 2 factors of 3 we are going to be considering. I can write this equation in this way. I can write this becomes alpha into brackets alpha minus 1 factorial minus 1 is equal to 1 times 3. This I'm going to refer to as I'm going to refer to this as case 1, or let me just get space and write it, or let me reduce this so I'll have space to write it very well. This becomes 1 times 3. This one I'll call case 1. This equation 2, I can write it as alpha into bracket, open bracket, alpha minus 1 factorial minus 1, close the bracket, is equal to 3 times 1. This I'll refer to as case 2. So we'll have two cases here. We'll have case 1 and case 2. What we just did here is that we took of the factors of 3, which is 1 and 3, and we interchanged it 1 times 3 and also 3 times 1 to see which of it is going to work, or if the two of them will work. So let's go to the next stage. In the next stage, we are going to try and solve the two cases. We'll solve the two cases. So from case 1, let me write it this way. From case 1, this is case 1. I can write alpha is equal to 1. That is this alpha representing this one. And I can also write alpha minus 1 factorial minus 1 is equal to 3. Let's see if it works out. Already alpha is equal to 1. So let's replace alpha being equal to 1 in this place. So this will become 1 minus 1 factorial minus 1 is equal to 3. Is it possible? Can this give us 3? Let's check it out. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 0 factorial minus 1 is not equal to 3. 0 factorial is 1. And 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. And we all know that 0 is not equal to 3. So we're not going to make use of this case. This case will not give us the right answer. So we're going to clean up case 1. It's not going to take us to our destination. Let's try case 2. Let's try case 2. This is case 2. In this case now, alpha will be equal to 3. Alpha equal to 3. Then alpha minus 1 factorial minus 1 will be equal to 1. So alpha minus 1 factorial minus 1 will be equal to 1. Let's work it out and see if it holds true. We're going to replace, this becomes 3 minus 1 factorial, because we know that alpha is equal to 3. We just replaced it here. Factorial minus 1 is equal to 1. So let's solve this and see if you are going to get our answer as 1. If we get the answer as 1, then definitely alpha is equal to 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2 factorial. Then minus 1 is equal to 1. 2 factorial is the same thing with 2 minus 1. Yes, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So case 2 is correct. The value of alpha is equal to 3. But remember, alpha was not the original variable we started with. We started with beta. Just for convenience sake, we decided to introduce alpha. But there is a relationship between alpha and beta. We said that beta minus 2 is equal to alpha. So if we want to get the value of beta now that we know alpha, what we're going to do is that we're going to say beta is equal to alpha plus 2. What we did is that we moved minus 2 to this side of the equation to make beta to be equal to alpha plus 2. Okay? In this case now we can get the value of beta as, we know alpha is 3, then plus 2. So beta is equal to 5. The value of beta is 5. Beta is equal to 5. We have the equation here. Let's check if we are correct. If we are correct, after introducing beta equal to 5 in the main equation we have, then the value we're going to get on the left-hand side must be equal to the value we're going to get on the right-hand side. That is how we check. So let's check. Beta is equal to 5. So this becomes 5 factorial is equal to, no, this becomes 5 factorial is equal to 5 raised to the power of 3 minus 5. This is now writing the real equation we have. So let's see if 5 factorial is going to be equal to this. So let's solve for 5 factorial. 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. 60 times 2 is 120. And 120 times 1 is 120. So 5 factorial is equal to 120. If we are correct, after solving this part of the equation, which is 5 raised to the power of 3 minus 5, our answer should also be 120. 5 raised to the power of 3 minus 5 will be 5 times 5 times 5 minus 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. When we subtract 5 from it, the answer will be 120. So we got the same thing for both cases. So our answer is correct. The value for beta is 5. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up and tell us what you think about the video in the comment section. Thanks.